That meant is every time I penetrated, I had to step into it.
Yo, John Fitch with some more technique. This time we're going over the penetration step. I'm going to give you 3 different versions. First is the basic penetration step. Break it down for you into 4 steps. Your basic penetration step needs to be very solid. Otherwise, your shot's always going to suck. Next, I get into a little bit more of an advanced technique that I used a little bit in college, but works even better for MMA and self-defense. I call it the rear leg penetration step. With this technique, I'll step with my rear leg forward in order to turn it into my penetration step. This helps with closing the distance faster, and it's a little bit disguised. And lastly, I show an advanced technique, something that I came up with specifically for MMA purposes. I'm going to put myself in a low level, but I'm not going to put my knee on the mat. Since if I put my knee down on the mat on a penetration step in a fight or on the street, I could get stuck under my opponent when he sprawls. That's not good. Make sure you have the basic penetration step down first before you move to the advanced penetration step. Here you go. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
We need to get into our basic penetration step. And then I'll move you up into a couple of advanced positions with that penetration step that are things that I've developed for MMA specifically. The basic penetration step comes in 4 parts. We can start up here if we want to, but we can also start in our wrestling position. It's up to you how you want to do it. The first thing I want to do is I need to close the distance to my opponent, right? So my first thing is to step forward. 1, my lead leg goes 1. Number 2 is my knee touches the ground. 1, 2. Right? Notice I just drag my leg behind me. 3 is to reset my leg, and this becomes my drive leg. This is the power coil where everything comes off of. So I go 2, 3, and number 4 is driving from here. I'm going to drive at 45 degrees. And if you notice, there's a little half step on this leg. I don't want to do this. If I do this, where's my next step? I've got nothing here. I need a little half step to get my track set going. So I go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. My shoulder stays square to my opponent. My hips turn. And run. This is similar to football. Running back takes the handoff. The linebacker. I used to play linebacker. Right? I pursue my opponent. I pursue the ball, keeping my hips turned, my shoulders stay square to the line of scrimmage. Same idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do not step big, and do not do this. There's no power there. You gotta chop your feet. It's like short yardage. Chop the feet fast. A lot of steps, a lot of little steps. You got it? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to go into an adaptation I came up with specifically for fighting. Actually, I started doing this my senior year of wrestling at Purdue. I was a right leg lead for a long time, but I had a hard time closing the distance on my opponents. So I switched to a left leg lead. But my rear leg was still my penetration leg. What that meant is every time I penetrated, I had to step into it. Okay? So instead of this, I'm doing this. And this comes in very handy in fighting, is what I found. So this adaptation is instead of that lead leg being the number 1, the back leg is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm really gonna mess you up because now you're doing one leg at a time. Now you're gonna try to do the other leg, right? And something else you should be doing is switching. You should be able to shoot the shot from both sides. You never know what the situation's gonna be where you're gonna have to do it, especially in the fight game, because if I fight a southpaw, things change. My attacks change. I have to have a different penetration leg to hit the things I want to hit. In wrestling, it's different because I can grab him, manipulate him, and make him step the way I want to. So even if he's the wrong leg lead, I can get him to change his stance up by pulling on him. It's a lot harder to do in a fight game. It's a lot harder to get that guy to switch out from orthodox to southpaw. Again, rear leg penetration. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got it? 1, 2, 3. My next adaptation for this is specifically for fighting, because in the fight game, I don't necessarily want to touch my knee. In self-defense, I don't want to touch my knee to the ground. I don't want to hit a double leg like this on the pavement. I'm going to bust my knee up. It's not a good idea. In a fight, I don't want to shoot in on a guy like this. If he sprawls underneath me and I get stuck, I'm in a bad place. He could be kneeing me. He could be looking for chokes. Be looking to spin behind and do damage. Like, I don't want that. It's not a game of points at that point. For wrestling, You might get scored on, but it's not the same as getting choked out or knocked out. I do not want to get stuck underneath that. So what I do is I modify the penetration step. I don't let my knee come to the ground. Basically what I want to do is I'm taking a step and I'm loading myself into an explosive position, like a power clean or a snatch clean. Right? So what I do is instead I step and I let that knee come as low as I can and bring my trail leg up. And then I fire. This is going to give me that ability to get into the hips and take the guy down without getting stuck underneath him. The step count is exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Burning your guys' legs up today. You have a hard time tomorrow. Go down and back one time this way. Step, knee, here, load, and go. You see I'm loading that into an explosive position here. A pretty athletic position. The second time, instead of doing that, we'll do the rear step. So we'll step, load the leg, and drop. Okay, got it? All right, let's go 1, 2, 3.
There you go. 3 different versions of the penetration step. Basic, rear leg, and advanced. Practice these drills on your own until you get them right, and then later I'll show you how to add a partner. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, smash the bell for updates every time I post a new video, and every time I do a live stream, and make sure you check out my Patreon if you haven't already. Patreon.com/TomFitch. Check you later.